right. Evan Ginsberg back with another edition of Evan Ginsberg's Legends TV, co-hosted by Steve Ludwig and Steve's bodyguard, Yassine Moudassa.
One of them anyway.
That's right. That's right. And also, deadlier than he looks, martial artist Jay Matias. How are you?
Very well. I'm honored to be here again. Thank you guys.
That's
I really
right.
appreciate it.
You guys have both co-hosted in the past, and you're going to be with us the entire show today, so we're honored to have you.
I feel safe.
Steve feels particularly safe today.
Yeah.
And Jay, you have a big fight. You're in the middle of a comeback. Tell us about all the drama, the good and the bad.
Yeah, man. It's a lot has happened. It's been 2 years since I've competed. Had surgery.
So what happened?
I tore my bicep tendon and ruptured it. So I was in a fight. Luckily, I won the fight, but you know, had the injury, got surgery, and then from then on, it just led on to depression, unemployment, just like a big snowball of things just mounted together. And it was just I don't wish it on nobody, but on top of that, it was a learning experience as well. And then all in all, spending time alone, I just realized I just want to do what I really enjoy, which is fighting. You know, so that comes into with my comeback fight, which is I'm doing a campaign now at GoFundMe.com/JComeback for because it gets expensive with all the dieting and the massages and yoga and stuff like that. So people, my friends on Facebook are helping out and donating and stuff for my comeback fight, which possibly could be end of the year, January. You know, I'm not rushing into it. For now, I'm just getting in shape, you know, enjoying it here and there. I'm not killing myself, you know.
You know, Jay makes a good point, Evan, and probably Yassine can, has experienced this as well. But like an injury like Jay had, it, like you said, it snowballs, it ripples, it just emotionally it affects you, and it really, it's not just an injury to your arm, right, Jay?
Yeah, it's more to it than that, man. It's like you're so involved in the sport. I had 6 fights in 6 months, back to back. Next thing you know, I'm fighting, bam, get injured. My life was fighting, you know, so then it got taken away from me. Yeah. What am I going to do now? I had nothing to do. My friend's like, it's insane.
So how do you find, Yassine, I'm sure you've been injured in the gym. How do you find balance?
It's recovery. Like when you get hurt, it's not easy because you trained so hard and you've spent so much time over the years on your craft.
What's been your worst injury?
My worst injury was I had a shoulder tear my sophomore year of high school, and I was out for a year. You know,
and you were an amateur wrestler.
I was an amateur wrestler, and I was out for a year. And at that time, that wrestling was the only thing I looked forward to in going to school for. That motivated me to do good in class. It motivated me to to work out, eat right, because I wanted to achieve in wrestling. And after I tore my shoulder wrestling one of my coaches, my arm got caught in his shirt and it got caught and taken back, and I tore my shoulder, and I was out for a year. And during that time, I was supposed to get surgery done, and I was like, I don't want to get surgery now. I'm gonna try to fix it, doing a lot of physical therapy. And the first 6 months were really, really bad. I couldn't even move my arm. But the 6 months after that, I went and bought 20-pound dumbbells, and I would work my shoulders out every single day, front shoulder sets and back shoulder sets. And a year from there, my shoulders, the strength that I had in my shoulders, it was unhuman. Why? Because I was working them out every single day. The rest of my body wasn't as great because I wasn't focusing on it, but I focused on my shoulders every single day.
So psychologically, emotionally, how did you handle being off a bit?
It's like if it's your passion. You get being taken away for your passion. How do you think? Like he said, there is depression involved in that. Like I recently, I graduated from Notre Dame in December, and I haven't been on the mat. So for me, since I've graduated, I'm like, I feel like I'm out of the game. I don't feel as important anymore because once you're fighting or once you're wrestling, you are the man. You are that guy, and you have your fans behind you. Everything that goes into it, and it's like falling out of routine. Now you feel like you're kind of like washed up on the side. It's not a great feeling, If I understand if you retire from a great career in your late 30s or 40s, that's different. But if you're a young guy, 20, 22 years old,
why don't we ask
Steve?
Steve taught for 38 years, and all of a sudden you wake up one day and you're not teaching. How do you handle that?
Well, it was good not have chalk dust on my fingers.
Right.
But
By the way, chalk dust is not healthy. That's right.
I hear it makes you lose your hair.
Okay.
It's growing back now, so we're good.
I just had to rub some chalk dust on. No, but seriously, the toughest thing for me, well, two things. I miss the kids, my students, because it's just a great feeling, to interact with people that want to learn. But having a schedule, I mean, I got up at a certain hour, took the shower, was out of the house.
Right.
But not having a schedule, I mean, listen, I'm sure everyone would love to have that, that problem. But it took a little getting used to, not having a schedule and just, finding useful things to do, which I've done, luckily. But for me, just not being on a schedule was really tough to get used to.
You see, in America, in certain cultures, what we do is not acceptable. Hi, I'm Eben. What's your name? What do you do? Question 2, what do you do? So if your perception is you're a teacher, and your perception is I'm a bodybuilder wrestler, and your perception is I'm a fighter, what happens if all of a sudden you're not fighting, you're not teaching, you're not wrestling? It's very hard to wrap your head around that. It's right?
Yeah, it's labels, man. At the end of the day, we're just human, and we just decide to do certain things, and it can change from time to time. It doesn't have to be my complete and total identity, and it could lead to other things like, wait, I thought you were a teacher, you're a fraud, because I'm doing something. That doesn't have to do anything. Maybe I've outgrown that, or I'm moving on to something new. I'm always growing and bettering myself as a person.
Yeah. Well, Jay and Yassine are both so well-rounded that they probably, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but they probably don't think of themselves as strictly a boxer, strictly a weightlifter or wrestler. No, there's more to the whole person, like Jay was just saying.
Of course.
Like, my mind changes since I graduated college. First, I wanted to jump into bodybuilding right away because when I started training at Bev's, and I started really, because I was eating right, I was taking the right nutrients. And I was training every single day, twice a day, even more than this pro guys. And maybe I'm still only 23, and I want to jump into bodybuilding all of a sudden. Until I came on your show, and one of the managers from NYWC saw me, and they said, "Why don't you come out for wrestling? Isn't that what you love? Isn't that what you do?"
Especially with a wrestling background.
With a wrestling background, so it's like now my window is like, okay, if I could, because bodybuilding career is usually in your late 20s, early 30s. Why? Because you need to train for that long to make a body like that. And I am kind of ahead because I started very, very young, and I've done it on a consistent basis. But if I can do two things, there isn't many guys that do bodybuilding and professional wrestling at the same time.
What's interesting? Old school wrestling. A guy like Vern Gagne, who promoted the AWA mostly in the Midwest. He would look for the great amateur wrestlers.
Yes.
He would pick up the Bob Backlunds and guys like this who could really wrestle. Today it's a whole different ball game. Today you get some girl who stripped for Playboy and now she's a wrestler. They're coming from a whole different place.
More entertainment, but the original wrestling fans appreciate the wrestling. Like, to give you an example of John Cena. John Cena has been booed left and right.
Cena could work.
People say you can't wrestle. He can. He can wrestle, but professionally.
Right.
When it comes to people who know what actual wrestling is,
he's not Danny Hodge. Yeah.
He's not. It's a thin line. You are because it's called professional wrestling. But the actual amateur wrestling, what people follow and watching the Olympics, it's not that. And there's guys like, Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar, Jack Swagger, Chris Benoit. Like, there's a lot of guys that have actually, wrestled on the mat and done it in college level and at the Olympic level. And, those guys have a different sort of respect.
What I find interesting, I was watching New Japan Wrestling last night, which is on a channel called Axis. which has a lot of MMA and martial arts. And so I'm watching the Japanese wrestlers, and it's really a combination of amateur, pro, martial arts. These guys are throwing kicks. These guys are amazing. I mean, and some of these guys have fought MMA professionally. So it's an interesting hybrid.
A lot of these Japanese guys are a lot tougher. Why? Because they actually hit each other, and it's they actually it's for real.
Yeah.
If you're a professional wrestler, just a professional wrestler, and you're going up against an actual wrestler or a fighter, and this guy's actually hitting you, you might not make it out of the match. You know, it's because I mean, like, acting is something else, and physically getting punched on purpose is something. Even if a guy who's trained to fight is wrestling you, you know, in a show, but if he's trained to fight, even his half punches are gonna hurt. You know, it's
some of the legends prided themselves on wrestling light. In other words, they were not making a lot of contact, and they prided themselves. I never hurt anybody. But today, there's a lot of guys very stiff. I mean, it's rough.
It's
rough.
First, it's rough, and they want upmanship goes on as well. You know, I'm gonna do this better. I'm gonna hit you harder. Second, they want to make it look like it's real. Because if first of all, people know it's not 100% real. Second, if you're not hitting the guys, you're gonna lose fans and ratings because people are gonna start saying, "Oh, he didn't even hit him. Why am I watching this?" You know, it's a complete show. It's only gonna limit up to like 12, 13-year-olds who don't know what actual fighting is. And when people actually find out, when they hit 15, 16. They lose a lot of fans. Why? Because it doesn't look real anymore. They you know, they've grown up from that.
I was going to say a lot of pro wrestling fans now, they consider you a good wrestler if it looked real. Like they know it's not real, but they say, "Wow, that guy's a great wrestler because he almost made it look like it was real."
It was real.
So this is the right panel to ask. Ronda Rousey against Floyd Mayweather. Okay, what would happen?
Oh man, I think it's pretty obvious, to be honest with you, but it would very much be a lot of attention towards it. Ronda Rousey's the winner, but being that Mayweather's the king of trash talking, he'll definitely promote it like it's like
once he gets him off his feet, he's done.
Yeah, forget about it. That's all he knows is boxing, so it's really.
So he would have to keep her away the entire fight, you know, because once he gets him off his feet, it's over.
Trust me, Floyd is a tough cookie, though.
Oh,
He's not gonna let her just. If he does sign for a fight like that, I am sure he will get the best wrestlers and the best fighters in the world to train him. He won't just sign it. He will train for about a good 6 months.
It's never going to happen. He doesn't need the money.
He doesn't need the money.
He's not going to risk being humiliated.
Why would he want to be fighting a girl? How tough would he look? You know, understandable. Ronda Rousey is the best fighter, but if you want to go down in the best fighter in history. For some money, you're gonna fight a girl. Maybe you might win. Maybe you might lose. I don't think it's a
lose-lose for him.
Exactly.
He's not gonna gain anything out of it. You know, he's gonna risk going into a new sport, doing all these things. If anything, she's gonna gain more popularity. She'll win either way. You know,
if they found like a mixed martial artist to fight Floyd. And Floyd trained, maybe it will be a little different, but like a male mixed martial artist, not a female mixed martial artist.
So, since you mentioned the word lose-lose, what's bothered me about UFC and MMA is it's so relatively new. What are the cumulative effects of black belts punching and kicking you in the head? I mean, what is this going to do to you 20 years from now? I mean, they really have not done any studies. Like, we know in boxing the devastating effects. I mean, does this concern you?
Not much so, because, I mean, I do Muay Thai. So Muay Thai is a sport from Thailand, Muay Thai kickboxing. And they've been doing it since ancient times, Muay Baran. And their track record is most of the fighters end up becoming trainers, and their heads are clear as day. I mean, obviously you have your odd ones where they end up taking too many headshots and everything, but it's different when you add kicks to the leg, kicks to the body shots. You know, you don't just have to focus. As opposed to boxing, you only have 2 targets really. So 50% here, 50% here. Majority of the times it's on the head. So you see where the increase is here. So it's not really. So that says it all. You know, I don't really have to explain myself in that terms. You know. But
hope you're right.
You said it.
it's a tough line. Why? Because I mean, I'd never professional wrestled. I've been doing it for 2 months now. I had a battle royal 2 weeks ago, which I won. My first individual match will be in November, which I'm training and get ready
At NYWC?
at NYWC.
Oh, I have to come see that. Yeah.
It's gonna be
That's
good.
cool.
But it's tough. The ring, underneath the ring, it's wood. You need to know how to fall the right way on these things. And if you hit someone with a move and they don't know how to take it and they fall straight on their head, you can seriously get injured and hurt like that. Because there's, for example, there's professional wrestling guys. I was showing some folk style wrestling moves, mat wrestling moves, and I hit a double leg on this kid. He's not a kid. He's about 25 years old. His name is Calvin. He's a NYCWC wrestler. He's about 230 pounds, big guy. But I took a double leg on him.
Calvin's not a great name for a wrestler. It doesn't sound too
I mean,
menacing.
he's gonna change. Yeah, I know.
Okay,
Come on, Calvin.
Yeah.
Kidding.
That's his first name.
No, I'm
I don't know about
joking.
his wrestling name. But I took his double leg on him, and he took the double leg on him, and he went straight up and straight down.
Wow.
He doesn't know how. I was like, because I'm used to wrestling, actual wrestling. He doesn't know how to wrestle, so he went straight up and straight down, and hit the ring, and banged his head, and was like, almost almost passed out.
He saw those birds and stars like in the cartoons.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's I've hit my head a couple of times in the ring because didn't know how to take a bump the right way, and I had headaches for days after that.
I once sat
starting off.
I once sat in an indie wrestling show with a chiropractor friend of mine, and he said, "Do these guys realize that a lot of these moves are like a mini whiplash? The impact."
Yeah.
I mean, so a similar question: 20 years from now, what is this going to do to your back, your joints? Are you concerned as a bodybuilder? Are you concerned about that?
Well, joints. I mean, you talked about bodybuilding. Like this is a great supplement that I use. It's called fish oil. They come in pills, or you can get it in bottle form. You drink one with a tablespoon. Why do I take this, and why is this my favorite supplement every day that I take every single day? It's really good for the joints, for my knees, for my ankles, for my elbows. Why? Because when you're training, when you're lifting, your bones are staying the same. Nothing is happening. They're not growing. But on top of that, your muscles keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And to support, those joints are the same. So they have all this extra weight added to them. And eventually, after years with carrying all this extra weight, they start, giving out. This great supplement that I use, fish oil.
And what company is it?
It's Barlin's. It's Barlin's company.
How do you spell that?
BARLEN apostrophe S.
And this is not a paid commercial, by the way. So
Yeah, but-
we're going to try to get you a
Definitely, we will.
sponsorship with these
we
guys.
will. We will.
There we go.
And well, it's really helped me. I've taken it for about 2 years. I was having knee problems. I was having, of course, I had my shoulder problem. And since I've been taking it, I take 1 or 2 pills a day, one in the morning, one in the evening, and my joints haven't given me any trouble at all.
Okay.
My wife is a nurse, and she suggested fish oil for me and for her.
Yes.
We're both way past our not way past our 50s, but and so I checked with my doctor, and he said absolutely anybody 50 plus take fish oil as well for the joints, like
because
you say.
you're naturally, your body and your joints are already, getting weaker.
Yep. Mhm.
To keep them running good for many more years to come, you want to, if you want to be healthy, you want to live a decent life.
Fish oil is
Of
definitely
course.
And I had an
It's more
Asian doctor, traditional Asian medicine, say the same exact thing, fish oil. But she specified certain brands that some are better than others, like any
Yes.
other product.
Sometimes it depends. You're spending so much money as like a guy like me who's 22, 23 years
What do you
old.
spend? What do you spend on all this stuff?
Supplements, I'd say at least like $100 to $150 a week on supplements.
Wow.
Because you need to get all your meals in, and if you're working, like I manage a gas station for my dad, so I'm working almost every single day for about 6 hours. To get my meals in, I need to fall on these supplements because I don't really like to cook, and supplements and protein shakes are quick and easy, and you eat it right away, and the strength goes to your body. It takes out the meal prepping, like actually cooking the food and putting in, washing dishes and everything.
All right, well,
Takes it out of it.
when we come back, we're going to talk nutrition, more health, wrestling, martial arts, and we're going to plug some of the stuff we have hanging here. But right now, we need to take a commercial break. We'll be right back after this very brief timeout.
My name is Dr. Robert Brevard. I'm here for Multi-Medicine in Westbury, New York. We're located at 1065 Old Country Road, Suite 214. Been here for about 15 years. The practice has medical doctors, physical therapists, chiropractors, acupuncturists. We also do pain management, and we have orthopedists on staff. Here at Advanced Multi-Medicine Rehabilitation, we've got physical therapists on staff who treat an array of conditions, from neck pain to back pain, shoulder pain. We treat carpal tunnel. We treat a lot of car accident patients, slip and falls. We treat patients with knee injuries, with ankle injuries. We have state-of-the-art equipment. We've been here for over 15 years. Vast array of diagnostic testing, from x-rays to EMGs. What is an EMG? It's a diagnostic test that allows a doctor to determine where the pinched nerve is. Cora is a physical therapist at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. She's working on Stephanie, who was involved recently in an automobile accident. Stephanie has tight thoracic and cervical musculature, and Cora is doing some myofascial release work and some therapeutic stretching, doing it to help her with her pain. Vicky is also a patient here at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. Vicky is now working her leg muscles, specifically her quadricep muscles, trying to strengthen them after an injury she sustained. If you find yourself in need of any type of physical therapy, please don't hesitate to call Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation, located in Westbury, New York, in Suite 214. Phone number is 516-334-7000, or find us on our website at advancedmultimedicine.com.
What are you looking for? You don't even know that. Are you on the ball list? You can't even answer. I'm asking you about it. You gotta be highly skilled. You gotta be highly skilled. You understand that?
What are you sick?
Are you well versed there? Are you a very smart man? Hit me with some funny shit.
My shit's twisted.
Tell me something. Tell me
What do
something.
you have right there?
That's awesome.
Well,
That's a big.
That's nice.
You know damn well. You know damn well.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's
Sir. Hey, are you interested in
Twisted
not?
talent.
Yes, I am. Sure. See, you got twisted.
That's twisted. That's talent.
You see what I'm saying? You understand me? And if you can't whip out answers like that, that man is liable to go to commercial break, punch your fucking mouth loose. You understand me? Time is up, sir. You understand me? You're on. You're the man. All right, give me your name now. I'm sorry.
My name is Willie.
Willie, where you working at?
we are twisted. We are awesome. Love it. Awesome. Love it. Awesome. Love it.
Can you repeat that question again?
We are back with Legends TV, and since we have two great athletes here,
Thanks.
great teacher, great teacher. And Steve's math is off. Here's my very important question. Obviously, Steve and I are from a different generation. Do the same quote-unquote rules apply as far as nutrition, exercise to people of different generations? Or like if Steve and I went to the gym, would you recommend we work as intensely as you guys, or is there more of a risk because you're older? And then there's people 20 years older than us who are still working out. And I mean, is it the same rules for everybody, or?
It's. Go ahead, Jay. Go ahead.
Honestly, it's not a, how do I put this simply? It's not a pill for every ill, put it that way. And obviously, we're doing that at a higher level, and that's not to belittle anybody, but that's just to put in perspective for you. Like, you can start at a slow pace and steady 3 times a week at least, you know, build yourself up. And if you feel that's too easy, after a while, do a little bit more, you know.
So if you're in good health at, let's say, 55, 65, 75, 85, can you go with the same intensity as you guys might?
Yes. Why? Because it's your way of training and how much you put into it and how many hours you're there and all the right things, all the right food you're taking. You know, there's a difference doing something as a profession and doing something as a hobby for your fitness. You know, there's going to be a difference to it. Like, say if an average person who has an average job, family, everything, doesn't have 2.5 hours every single day to train, to wrestle.
Maybe they do,
Thai.
because the average American sits in front of a TV 6 to 8 hours a night.
They'll rather sit in front of the TV.
I mean,
you need to be. It's consistency. Anything you want to do, you want to be consistent to do it, and if you're passionate about it, you will get ahead of people, even in the same field. But it takes time. It doesn't happen like all of a sudden you're going to walk in the gym and 2 weeks later you're going to be training and just as much as a guy who's trained for the past 8 years to build to that level.
Sure.
It's not gonna be like
Steve?
that.
You know what I find, Evan, too? I'm in my early 60s, and my mind is still in my 20s.
Right.
So you think,
Yes.
I should be able to do what I did in my 20s. And it's like, it's a rude awakening sometimes. But then you say...
But there are
what are we
champion
saying?
bodybuilders in their 60s,
Yeah.
senior,
Right.
Yeah, but it's not. They've done that for years and years and years, and they find ways of getting around certain things now.
Right.
I mean, if a guy who's retired, and a person I look up to is Jay Cutler. Like his bench press was insane. Like he would do like 415 on each side for like 20 reps. Whoa. He can't do that anymore.
Okay.
But he still trains chest. He'll go on the machine. He'll put on 1 or 2 plates on the machine and still work out chest. And he still has a big, strong chest. But it's not as strong as when he competed when he was 25, 26 years old. To have world record type numbers on that exercise. But the muscle development is there. His passion is there. But his body isn't young. He doesn't take all those supplements anymore. He doesn't eat all that food anymore. After the years, the cholesterol, the stuff with all this food and all this eating and all this training, your body starts wearing down.
Now, let me get into my personal scenario. I was at the gym Tuesday night. Wednesday, I took a Tai Chi class. Thursday, I took a Tai Chi and Qigong class combined, as well as a yoga meditation class. Okay, so for basically for 48 hours, I was going at it pretty intensely for a middle-aged guy. So Friday I was kind of tired. It was a torrential downpour. As much as I wanted to go to the gym, I'm like, forget about it. But I felt guilty. I was like, so
there you go.
So should I feel guilty, or am I doing more than enough?
Rest that's more than enough, and rest is the key.
So rest is not a bad thing.
Rest is a great thing. Why? Because you need your body to recover. And for bodybuilding, your body grows when you sleep, when you rest. If you're in the gym every single day for 3 hours and you got to go to your job for 10 hours and the rest of the time you're meal prepping or you're washing your clothes, you're only sleeping for 4 hours, you're not doing yourself a body a favor. You'd rather take that day off and miss that workout and sleep and eat and recover to be ready for your next workout.
Okay. So listen to your body then.
Listen
if you're tired, take the day off.
Everyone's body is different. Okay. Everyone's body's different ages, different times, different years of experience of the toll they've taken on their, everything is different.
Sorry, Jake, go right ahead.
I completely agree with Yas. He basically takes the words out of my mouth. Recovery is key, and there's too much emphasis put on action. Like recovery is the most important part. So you got it right on the button, my friend.
Like any injury, what do? You rest it to recover it to make yourself better.
But you can work around it in the gym.
You can work, yes, right. You can work around it. Like I said, if your shoulders are really sore, you trained them 2 days ago, don't train shoulders, do legs.
Right.
If your legs are really sore, do chest, do bis, do tries. There's always something you do. Just do cardio, go swim. Find something.
Evan, I'm sorry. How do you feel personally yourself after your Tai Chi and your yoga? It doesn't.
Well, Tai Chi
it doesn't seem like it's strenuous. But
Tai Chi actually surprised. We were having this discussion before. For about 90 minutes, you were working every muscle in your body, and it's much like yoga. And although it doesn't look intense, it's a workout.
So there's a cool down, quote unquote, when you're done.
But it's also meditation. It's very peaceful, and you feel good for that reason. Sometimes I'm in the gym and they're playing horrendous, music, and I'm watching Fox TV and I want to shoot myself,
Exactly.
and it's not that relaxing.
Reason why I entered the gym, I have my headphones in, I got my
there you go,
my mezzo, I
smart.
got my music in, and sometimes people think, this guy, he's a mean guy, don't talk to him. I'm just in my zone, ready to go there to do what I'm there to do. I have an hour and a half left. I need to go to sleep soon. I need to get my workout in. Sorry, I'm not gonna stand there just talk to everyone. I'm gonna go in there, get in my zone, do my workout, and walk out of the gym. It's just what I came to do.
I'm gonna take this in a different direction. There was a video, you might have seen it on YouTube yesterday. They had these sorority girls sitting at a baseball game, all taking photos of themselves. They weren't watching the game whatsoever. They're taking hundreds of pictures of themselves.
Evan, every single one in that crowd.
Right, every single one of they had no interest in the game itself. Okay, so what I'm leading to is, at what point is bodybuilding, training, crossing a line into extreme vanity? In other words, someone like myself, marriage is the death of hope. I'm not doing this to impress women. I'm old and I'm married. I'm in the gym for health reasons, to maintain your health. And, looking decent is a plus also, being in some kind of shape. But at what point is can it cross the line into extreme vanity? For example, in pro wrestling, they never worried 30, 40 years ago about a six-pack of abs. Some of the best workers in the world, Ray Stevens, Dick Murdoch, they had beer bellies, So is there a point where it's too much self-absorption?
Yeah, we get it's all this technology we have, and especially the media's influence on everyone here. The selfies, the iPhones, all of this is portrayed as if it's the illusion of happiness. Like, all right, I have the newest phone, and now I'm showing all of this stuff through my phone, which essentially is a lie because I'm not even paying attention to what's going on. What you just explained. So essentially, it's like we don't need it.
It's who can portray the perfect picture. That's the guy that's going to sell your brand. That's the guy that's going to sell your product. That's the girl, It's sad. It's very, very sad. And a lot of times, these people aren't happy with their lives. Stuff goes on, everyday people, but they still have to be on their Instagram. Because say if I've signed a contract with Team Cat, okay, I have to be... It requires me, because for them to pay me, I need to be on Instagram, smiling, putting up pictures, training, whatever they require to showing their product 2 to 3 times a day. And for that, I need to be showing them I'm living great. I have a nice car. I have, nice clothes. Even though they might be living in an apartment on a 3rd-story building somewhere, but they need to portray the perfect picture for the people, for the fans to follow them. Okay. That's what entertainment is. That's what sells. If you're a little kid and you see a bodybuilder, a great bodybuilder, who doesn't even have a car or who lives on the 3rd-story building, you're not going to want to grow up and do that. You want to look like him, but you don't want to be wanting to live, the type of life he lives. So a lot of it comes with you want to portray who can portray the perfect picture, and of course the abs, the arms, the way you talk, the way you walk, what watch you're wearing, what shirt you're wearing, what car you're driving. That's what sells the product.
Okay. It's very hard to attain perfection and to maintain perfection, and I think the whole selfie phenomena is not necessarily a good thing. It's vanity to the exponential. There's nothing wrong with being in shape, obviously, being healthy, looking good, but I think at some point you can't just stare in the mirror. It's
to a certain extent, it has its positive side as well. I see somebody, or a regular person will see somebody, and they'll get motivated because this person puts up a picture of how many gains they got or something, So there's more.
You guys are walking role models. The average person, is not in the shape, does not have the discipline that you guys have, and that's, you know, one of the reasons you're sitting here. You know, it's like if you got some schlub off the street, they wouldn't be interviewed now. You know,
To be an athlete, you need to have a lot of self-confidence in yourself and believe in yourself. And it doesn't, you know, the people or the athletes around you, they, you know, everyone wants to be that guy, that athlete, that great fighter, that champion, that great wrestler. And it's very, very hard to push through adversity and believing in yourself. No, this is my passion. I want to do this. I want to be the best at my craft. And for that, you need a lot of confidence in you. And you need to be, you know, a lot of these guys, they might say they're cocky. I understand that. Like Floyd might be cocky, but he believes in himself till the death. He thinks he is the best ever. You know, he believes that. And he goes out there and he performs.
I have nothing but respect for people who are disciplined in any way. I mean, a writer could be 400 pounds and grotesquely out of shape, but if the guy gets up and he's writing for 3 hours every morning, I have the respect, that he's a filmmaker, you know, whatever. You know,
it's the craft. It's his craft.
As associate producer on The Wrestler, we worked on The Wrestler off and on for 7 years. People have no idea what it takes to make a movie from beginning to end. You know,
that's a lot of time.
I mean, we shot it in 35 days, but the business end, the rewriting of the script, etc. You know, people have no idea the discipline involved in certain things. So I respect anybody. A teacher gets up every morning in horrific weather. They have a cold. They're sick. They drag themselves in. They perform. You know, people don't realize what's involved. Anything that requires discipline, I respect.
And people can really get hurt. You lose a big time match or you lose a big time fight. All of a sudden, your fans are booing you. Everyone's down, and you know, it just feels like you've lost. But to have that motivation and, you know, training harder and getting better for yourself. It's tough. It's not easy. It's very, very tough.
Yeah, I'm with all of you. We're on the same page. And Cus D'Amato, Mike Tyson's trainer, put it this way. He asked Tyson, "Do you know what it means to be a pro fighter?" And the answer was to perform regardless of how you feel.
Sure.
And I feel that applies to all disciplines. Whether you're a teacher, you have to wake up certain time to go teach, regardless of how you feel that day.
We got up on 3 hours sleep to do this show. You have to be disciplined. Yeah. We're just sitting. You know?
Some cliches are true. The show must go on.
That's right.
Right? You know, in life.
So Jay, since we're talking about your fighting, set up the clip. We want to see you in action.
All right, my friends. This is a promo from my comeback fight. Check it out.
All right.
Back in the flesh, my friends, and I need you to help me by funding this fight camp for me. It's been 2 long years, but I'm back.
Excellent. And please plug your GoFundMe one more time.
So it's gofundme.com/jcomeback, JAYCOMEBACK.
Okay. And Yassine, plug any social media.
My social media, my Instagram is Yassine Hulk Madhousetv, and my Facebook is, of course, Yassine Madhousetv. I'm working on a YouTube channel, and right now we're also working on trying to get a name, a professional wrestling name, which is the next thing, you know, because you gotta have your personality and a name. That's what we're working on. And like I said, a month from now, I'm gonna have my first individual match in NYWC. I don't know exactly what date. We're working on that as well.
I've been following wrestling since 1972. It's 1972, and I've been involved with it forever. I'll walk down the street one day this week, and a light bulb will hit me. I'll come up with a name for you. And, I mean, you don't have to take it, but I'll suggest it.
I'm taking names right now. We're thinking of something.
3 o'clock in the morning.
So far, the first name I did, my first match was Yassine the Machine. Like, have you seen the Machine? Like, I walked out as a
catchy.
Crazy, you know, not crazy, just I didn't stop. I eliminated like 10 people out of 15. I just, just throwing people. So that was.
I kind of like it.
Yeah,
I
see
mean,
the machine. The machine, yeah.
Simple and memorable.
Yeah, but it was, it was just something just to give me a name at the time. We're working on it. We're working.
All right, and Steve has become a fashion designer. Tell us about this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, PlanetLudwig.com is my website. It's got my 2 shows, Steve Ludwig's Classic Pop Culture and The Beatles Hour with Steve Ludwig. And yesterday was October 9th, the 75th birthday of John Lennon. I'm wearing my Beatles tie in honor. And we have a special Beatles Hour, all John Lennon. And yeah, one of the t-shirts over there is, we're offering it on the website in black there. And as a matter of fact, Evan, it's your size. So next week, October 17th, is celebration of the show and things, but plus your birthday and your wife's birthday. So the best gift you'll ever get, I want you to have that.
Thank you. And you can pick up both these shirts on our websites, legendstvnyc.com, planetludwig.com, help support the show, and also come out on the 17th of October, as Steve mentioned, at Patty's Tavern, 4207 162nd Street in Flushing. We're going to have a live show. We're going to have Robert Ross, blues great, So Soon, hip-hop great, and Robin Channing, the magician, who's going to be out in just a few minutes to entertain you. It's going to be quite the event. And speaking of great events, December 5th. Oh, by the way, the October 17th show is absolutely free, no cover. Come on down and celebrate my birthday, my wife's birthday, and Steve's programming and our programming. It's going to be a great event. And December 5th, we're going to take it to the stage right here on Long Island in Farmingdale at Theater 294, which is 294 Route 109. And it's going to be an amazing show. Alpha Halverson, who's been on the show many times, his son Walter Halverson, they're going to be the house band. We're going to have hip-hop greats So Soon, Roger Ortega, R&B and pop singer, folk singer Derek Knott, magician Rogue, if you like magic. Rogue's going to be there, poet John Winnell, Vinny DeGuido, and more to be announced. It's going to be an extravaganza December 5th, Legends TV and Classic Pop Culture, and the Beatles Hour. Tell us about the Beatles Hour real quick.
Well, it's broadcast right out of the studios here, Madhouse Studios, on iTunesUSA.com, Saturday mornings at 9. If you missed that broadcast, everything is archived at PlanetLudwig.com. Okay. And the Beatles, I mean, come on.
And at PlanetLudwig.com, you can pick up Steve's book, See You and CCU, about his open heart surgery, which is what happens when you don't stay in shape and don't eat well.
Yeah.
So,
well, he's learned.
Yeah, he learned the hard way.
and well, listen, thank you for that. And your book on
Apartment 4B, like in Brooklyn, about the East Flatbush of the turbulent 60s and 70s. And all of our marketing techniques we learned from Brimstone, who turned this place into a store last week. So anyway, folks, we're going to be back in just a few moments. But briefly, we're going to show you this clip from my movie, Wrestling Then and Now, directed by Dwayne Walker out of Vegas. Dr. Death, Don Arnold, Killer Kowalski, Homicide, Lowlife Louie, Nikolai Volkov, a lot of legends in this film. Basically, yours truly on the road with some colorful friends. Check out the promo. That'll lead us into the commercial, and we'll be back with magician Robin Channing in just a few. Don't go anywhere.
The associate producer of The Wrestler, Evan Ginsberg, comes Wrestling Then and Now.
What? I think you look better with a mask on!
Learn the super secret backstage moves of professional wrestlers.
You know, he knows all those moves and can do everything, right? But
innovative ways of dealing with sexual harassment.
But I actually did make contact on his nuts, and it did hurt.
Ask yourself, what the hell is wrong with these people? Watch Saturday morning cartoons with Nikolai Volkov.
What are you doing here, Nikolai?
Yeah, save the shuttle.
That's the best one too. Amazing likeness there.
Good looking guy.
Hear the wisdom of Killer Walter Kowalski.
Think you become, the fear you become, what you say you become. Never ever be derogatory about yourself. If you're down, take the upper stand. I am Superman. I am the greatest. I am perfect.
It's a time capsule of a film. Wrestling Then and Now. Streaming to your computer, to your phone, to your TV. Download now.
We are back with Legends TV, and our returning guest is magician Robin Channing. And is the term magician sufficient? Because you're a mentalist. How else would you bill yourself?
Well, I just go by magician and mentalist.
Okay.
You know? I mean, most people know what a magician is. Not as many people know what a mentalist is.
For those who don't, explain mentalist.
Well, mentalist is somebody who does something with phenomenon relating to the mind. Okay, whether it's predicting the future, or sending thoughts, receiving thoughts, clairvoyance, remote viewing, influencing physical reality with the mind alone, and so on and so forth. So mentalism, that's something else that I do in addition to magic. Sometimes I have either a straight up magic show or straight up mentalism show, or a mix of the two. To me, I like to mix and match, and I like to go in both directions, and that's what I like to do.
And speaking of shows, you have a huge show coming up at Theater 294. Tell us
Yes.
what we can expect and when it is. And
Yes. I have a show coming up on November 8th at Theater 294, and I'll be doing my one-man techno-mentalism show. And I say techno-mentalism show because not only is it mentalism in a traditional sense, but also I'll be incorporating modern tech like iPads, smartphones, and things of that
okay,
nature.
so I immediately got like this queasy feeling in my stomach, having done countless shows over the years. What if something goes wrong tech-wise? Are you at the mercy of these machines?
No, I'm not. Because I tend to use technology in my shows in a fairly minimalist way.
Good.
Okay? So it's not like, I'm relying completely on electronics. It's more for the sake of show than it is for...
I once saw Patti LaBelle headline Madison Square Garden in her prime, and she sounded like Minnie Mouse because the sound was off.
Oy.
Bad tech stuff can destroy a show. I mean, Steve, I'm sure you've been there at concerts.
I mean, back in, not only concerts, back in the 60s and early 70s, there was a show called The Ed Sullivan Show. And many times it was lip-synced, the singers, and once the backing track stopped, and they were lost on stage.
Wow.
The group, they didn't know what to do. Rather than just kind of joke about it, they just kind of stood there. So yeah, it can be a nightmare.
Live shows are walking a tightrope. I mean, even this show, we've done probably 125 of them for 3 or 4 years, and every once in a while things can go wrong. It's live TV. So tell us what else we could expect on the 8th, and let's show the ad for the show for the fans out there.
Okay.
Channing's big show, November 8 at Theater 294. And tell us what else we could expect.
Well, at the show on November 8th? Yeah. Well, like I said, techno-mentalism. That's what I like to call it. And
I've been suffering from that for years.
Okay.
No, I'm joking.
All right. Well, it's going to be a really fun show, okay? I'll be doing a lot of audience participation.
Awesome.
So the audience really makes the show.
Would I be putting you on the spot to ask you to do something with this colorful crew here?
Right here,
whatever you...
Oh,
so this is total improv. Obviously, we didn't...
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay. All right, let's see here. Total improv. All right, let's do this, okay? Good magician has to be prepared for anything. Okay? As a matter of fact...
So we may need some close-ups of these cards here.
Okay. Just to get everything all set up. As a matter of fact, let me see which direction I want to take this. You guys have any phones on you by chance? Like, iPhone or anything like that? You do?
They're off.
They're off? Okay. Or you probably have them on vibrate by chance?
Yes, I do.
I've been told they're more fun that way, just to have them on vibrate. I don't know why, but anyway.
It depends on where they are.
Yeah, right. There you go. Okay. Why don't let's see. I've got my Wi-Fi and my 4G turned on just in case. But let me see here. I'm going to try to send a text message. Okay, let's see here. All right, let me just turn on my messages app. And I'm going to send a test text. Try saying that fast one. Okay, all right. May I have your number?
It's 516.
Okay, 516.
244.
244.
53.
53.
40.
40.
You hear that, ladies?
Back end is waiting for promoting is okay. All right, okay.
You've seen the machines.
I'm pretty excited for this.
Okay.
This is
Let's see if this will work. All right. Let's see if we can establish a connection. Okay. All right.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. This is okay. Great. You got it. All right. We've established a connection. All right. That's what we wanted to start with so far. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is ask, can you reach over?
Sure.
Okay. I need you to cut the cards on the table, okay? And complete the cut. All right. All right, same for you. Just cut the cards any amount you want. Okay. Oh, I see you went for the big chunk there. All right. All right. All right. And Jay, I need you to do the same. Okay, just cut the cards. Ooh, okay. Oh! Has to be a complete cut.
Oh,
okay. But that's okay, that's okay, that's okay. Let me see where we are. Okay, all right. Well, this is total ad lib, so, you know, right? Anything goes, okay? So let's see here. Okay, let's just do this, and then just randomize things even further. Okay. One more cut. Okay. And, yeah, complete it. Now, Jay, okay, what I'm going to ask you to do is the following. I'm going to turn my back to you, and Evan, you just make sure that I don't see what's going on here, okay? Now, Jay, I'm going to give you a choice. I'm going to ask you to either cut the cards one last time or not cut the cards, okay? And if you decide to cut the cards, needless to say, it would help if you're silent, all right? So I'm going to give you that choice. Once my back is turned to you, either cut the cards or not cut the cards, okay? And on the count of 3, 2, 1, okay, cut the cards or not cut the cards. It's up to you. Okay? Make sure I don't look. Okay? And make sure I don't see the reflection of what's going on through your glasses over there, okay?
Okay.
All right. Okay? I don't want to seem backhanded on my own end, okay? And even if you didn't cut the cards, you can feel free to just reposition the entire deck elsewhere on the table just to throw me off if you want to go that far. All right? Tell me when I can come. I can. Okay, good. Now, what I'd like you to do is to put the deck in the card box. You know. Okay. All right. Okay. There we go. Okay. Sealed in a veil of its own darkness. Okay. So we've had how many people cut the cards? You cut the cards?
1, 2, 3.
3 people, and then an X factor here, whether the cards were cut or not cut. So we can agree on those conditions?
Yeah.
Okay, that's very good. Now, I'm going to attempt to send this text message. We established the connection before, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. All right. Okay, let me think here. Oh, and what I need you to do is to have your iPhone on the table face down. Okay? Okay. This is because we don't want to know what that message actually is yet. Okay? And right now, what I'm going to do is open up yet another app. This is why I love iPad technology. Okay, let's see if Siri will work for me. Okay, I guess not. I guess I have to find it the hard way. This is because we're doing everything impromptu. So let me just let's see. Where's my Doodle Buddy app? It's in here somewhere. I didn't expect to do this today, but oh well. It's one of those things. I got so many apps. It's like it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Okay, you know what? Maybe I'll just try. This is the part where we kill the show. Okay, let's see here. Feeling. Oh, there it is. All I had to do was just put in
Suspense was building.
Doodle Buddy. Okay. Now, gentlemen, can we agree on this, that this is just quite simply a Sketchpad app?
Yeah.
We can agree on that? Okay. And we just clear that. Okay. Now, I'm going to create a grid of possibilities that you gentlemen will determine the reality of. All right? Which do you like, rows or columns?
Rows.
You like rows, okay. Which direction would you like those rows to go? Left to right or right to left?
Left to right.
Left to right, okay. Standard reading system, Western reading system. Okay, Jay? Which of these left to right rows would you want to choose? This one, this one, this one, this one. Doesn't matter.
Second one.
Second one, okay. All right. Okay, 4. All right, can we agree on this?
Agree.
You guys determined this reality, okay? Okay, we determined rows, we determined left to right reading order, and we determined this one. Let's go full circle here. Pick one of the remaining rows.
2.
This one?
Oh, I'm sorry. You said rows. Yeah, one below one.
This one? Okay. All right. Your choice. Okay. Da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. And finally, one more choice.
Top one.
Top one. Okay, very good. 9, 10, come on, there we go, 10, 11, 12. By default, that means we have this. Okay, 15 and 16. Okay, can we agree on this?
Agreed.
We created this. Now, we're back to you. We have 16 possible numbers. Name one of the numbers, anyone?
9.
9, okay. Here's how the game escalates. Not only have we circled the number you chose, but that number eliminates everything above and below and everything to the left and right. Okay?
It's like a advanced tic-tac-toe.
Sort of, yeah, right? Or like Sudoku that on acid, but anyway. All right, okay. Name one of the remaining numbers.
7.
7, okay. Again, not only do we select that, but it also eliminates everything to the left and right and everything above and below, okay? And finally, you get to pick the last number.
We'll go with 14.
14. Okay, there we go. Okay, that eliminates everything to the left and right, everything above and below. And 4 ends up being the final default number, okay? Now, Jay, the cards have been out here the whole time. Could you remove the cards from the box, please? This is the exciting part.
Yeah.
All right, I hope this... Okay, let's start with the largest number first, which happens to be 14. Could you turn over in one pile the top 14 cards, if you don't mind?
The top 14?
The top 14 cards, yes. Okay. One at a time.
1.
Oh, turn them over, though.
Oh, turn them over.
Yeah, turn them over. Okay, there's go. 1, 2, in one pile. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Any slower, Jay?
11.
Yes.
Building.
12. 13. And that's 14. Okay, let's shift things around. That takes care of 14. The next number is 9. Could you turn over 9 more cards if you don't mind, please? Sure. Okay. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that's 9 cards. Brilliant. Now, I don't know if you want to reach over. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, the next large number is 7. So, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and now the suspense really builds. We're back to you, Jay. Notice that the last number is 4. I'm not going to ask you to turn over 4 cards. I'm actually going to ask you to turn over 3 cards and leave the 4th card face down on the table. Okay?
All right.
Turn over 3 cards in the same pile. All right? 1, 2, and that's 3. And the 4th card, leave face down on the table. Okay? And that eliminates the rest of these possibilities. Okay?
All right.
There we go. Now, let's recap. Not only have we constructed this grid, which determines how many
beautiful
cards.
grid.
Yeah, right? This well-drawn, very articulated calligraphy style grid. Yeah, right? And, you know, we went through all these possibilities. You guys determined this reality. And before all that, look, we sent a text message. We established a connection. And we left the... I sent you a text message which has been anonymous and unknown to us up until this moment. Could you open the text message and see what it says?
It says 8 of diamonds.
8 of diamonds. Now, did you guys see an 8 of diamonds being dealt among the face-up cards?
I didn't pay attention.
Okay, look. You can even see. There's no 8 of diamonds here. And there's no 8 of diamonds among these. Oh, my. The plot and the suspense thickens.
That's pretty interesting.
Now, gentlemen, after everything that has happened, wouldn't it be bloody amazing if that mystery card that you dealt, that I didn't touch, just so happens to be the 8 of diamonds?
It would be.
Turn it over and let's find out if it's true. Okay. Is it? Show it to the camera! Oh my gosh!
There you go.
Oh wow!
The amazing Robin Channing, November 8th, Theater 294.
I'm taking this one home.
And on October 17th, I'll also be at Theater 294 to do yet another feat of predicting the future.
That's right. And October 17th, you'll be with us as well.
And I'll be with you on
Patty's Tavern. So,
right? It's going to be one of those days for me.
And more of Robin Channing when we come back after this very brief timeout. We're going to see some magic on stage, so don't you dare go anywhere. All right.
Hi, my name is Dr. Tom Dow. We have a multidiscipline practice in Melville and Ronkonkoma, New York, and we treat patients with many, many different conditions, from newborns through geriatric patients with numerous different techniques. There's a technique and a type of treatment for every class of patient. We have them all here. Here's my son Thomas, also a doctor of chiropractic, working on one of our patients' cervical spine. This patient has had chronic neck pain for many, many, many years, has been to a multitude of different practitioners with little or no response. And with our specialized techniques, she has improved tremendously and continues to improve on a daily basis. We have two practices, one in Melville and one in Ronkonkoma, New York. We are a multidiscipline chiropractic office. What that means is we have chiropractors, massage therapists, acupuncturists, psychologists, all working as a team and a network of outside professionals such as orthopedists and neurologists that we work hand in hand with to help determine what your injuries are and the best way to treat your injuries. I have the great pleasure of having my son in practice with me. We work hand in hand, father and son, to give our patients the best care possible, and a staff which is loving, caring, and you'll never have to wait at all in our office for service. Many times patients come into our office and they have what's called a soft tissue injury. Soft tissue injuries are like scars inside your body. If you've ever been cut on the outside of your body, you get a scar. The same thing happens inside of your body to your muscles and ligaments. So our job is to determine where those are, stretch the muscles, adjust the vertebra back into their correct position, and then refortify the normal structure with exercise. That's what we do best, and I hope someday you'll come see us at one of our two offices. Thank you.
All right, we are back with Legends TV, and before we go to the stage for some live magic, I want to show two music videos and performance videos. December 5th, Theater 294, you missed the birth of your mother and father. Do not miss Vaudeville for the 21st Century as Steve and I present an all-star eclectic mix featuring magic, comedy, hip-hop, R&B, etc., so on. And these are two of the artists that are going to be performing, Derek Knott and So Soon. We're going to run these videos back to back. And once again, that's December 5th, Theater 294 Route 109 in Farmingdale, Long Island. And it's going to be a 2.5, 3 hour extravaganza. Tickets only $20. Don't you dare miss it. Check out the videos. These great performers, Derek Knott and So Soon, will be on the show. Enjoy.
My cool breezes start to blow. My high ship knows which way to go. A new horizons out to sea. My high ship knows what's right for me. There's changes in her heart. The changes in her heart, do, 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 do. The changes in her heart. The changes in her heart. When I'm feeling very low, well, I just sit and in my mind I go. If the feelings start to show, then I know I got some place to go. There's changes in her heart. The changes in her heart. Do, 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 do. The changes in her heart. The changes in her heart. Turn to me, yeah, I'll set you free. Sing to me songs of the sea. Trust in me endlessly. Be with me religiously. Sail with me to Zanzibar, and we'll swim like whales beneath the stars. I see the love that starts to show. Reach inside and find a place to go. Na 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 na. Na na.
Sea of yellow traffic, sweep the trash of the upper working classmen. Scars from the broken champagne glasses. Whatever happened, he handles it passive. Cause while we play the front, he takes the right out on the back end. You barely see him cause he's not European. When something needs cleaning, is the only time you need him. You don't wanna be him, his work is complicated. Your hands are too smooth to do a job so degrading. But he stays on his shit, no complaining. To you it's just another spick, nigga, but to me he's courageous. When you're working for a minimum wages and never spend a moment aggravated, he should be congratulated. New York City nights, bright lights, pretty sight. Somebody's gotta keep it looking all pretty when the city's at a standstill. They keep it moving, it's a fucked up job, but somebody's gotta do it. Asian, East or West, Indian communities, African immigrants looking for immunity. Say what you want, they don't care about your scrutiny. All they care about is a better opportunity. While you and me complain about working every day. They taking our jobs and doing it for nothing. Cause when you come from nothing, a little equals something. He maximized the minimal, minimized consumption. He nurtures his children, cares for his wife. Cause all he cares about is a better way of life. He lives within his means, he gives what he receives. He goes to work the same every day with fatigue. The city's still awake while everyone is sleeping. He sleeps in the day and awakes in the evening. He never calls out. Vacation's an illusion. It's a fucked up job, but somebody's gotta do it. New York City nights, bright lights, pretty sights. Somebody's gotta keep it looking all pretty. When the city's at a standstill, they keep it moving. It's a fucked up job, but somebody's gotta do it. New York City nights, bright lights, pretty sights. Somebody's gotta keep it looking all pretty. When the city's at a standstill, they keep it moving. It's a fucked up job, but somebody's gotta do it.
Okay, jmatthias.net, by the way. Steve and Yassine.
Yes.
Okay, how are you guys doing?
Just great.
Okay. Now, as you can see, I have a tool here for catching people's attention. Okay, and it looks like it's working already, okay? Now, do you gentlemen see anything, oh, I don't know, out of the ordinary with this? Anybody see anything out of the ordinary?
Clear ball.
Well, that's called a rhetorical question for which I must apologize. A crystal ball that looks like it's floating in the air, that is out of the ordinary, okay? But the reality of it all is that I'm a magician, and as a magician, I have to use the typical tool of the magician's trade, a deck of cards. Now, moving right along, what I'm going to do is I'm going to warm up the cards. You see, it's not so much the fingers that need warming up, it's the cards themselves. And, oh, well, this is rather embarrassing to have on TV. I have the advertising cards. These are the cards that people usually throw away when you know, people do a show with them. But you know what? Unless I do something like this and I do something like this, then they become a bit more interesting, okay? All right? Now, moving right along with the rest of the deck, take a good look. We're going to do this, something a lot more extreme, you see, okay? And also shows you that I have a life. It's just not a social one. Okay, it's just one of those things, all right? And you also now know not to play cards with a guy like me, okay? Yep. All right, okay. Joke's on me. All right, so now that we've done that, we're ready to begin. Yassine, well, let's start with you. Why don't you just name any card you want?
To be honest with you, I don't play cards. So
you don't play cards? Okay. Okay, there's like 13 possible numbers. Ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Jack, Queen, King.
King.
King, okay.
King of Diamonds.
King of Diamonds.
King of Diamonds. Okay,
yeah, you see, for a guy who doesn't play cards, he knows his stuff, okay? Okay, King of Diamonds, all right? Now, could you hold out your hand, please? Very good, okay? Now, you said the King of Diamonds, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, go like this, and with your other hand, turn the card over. Go ahead with your other hand. Oh, and show that to the camera, please.
Look at that. Awesome.
That's awesome.
Nice, nice. And maybe that was luck. All right. Steve, why don't you name another card?
6 of spades.
This 6 of spades. I like that contemplative tone of voice that he had when he said that. 6 of spades. Now, if you were to say a number, a small number, what would it be?
3.
3. You sure? Open your hand. Okay. 1, 2, and look at what happens when we reach the third card. Wow. Oh.
That's amazing.
I mean, whoa. Oh, and yeah, thank you. And we're making rounds here. Well, why don't you name a card here, Jay? Any card you want.
Jack. What's it called?
Well, there are 4 jacks, so we could go that route if you want.
Jack diamonds.
Jack of diamonds, okay? Yeah, I like the way he took his time with that. You like you carefully like to.
No rush.
Okay, you're in no rush, all right? Now, sometimes people wonder whether or not I use statistics and probability to my advantage. You know what I say to those people? They're right. Really. If I were to have a joker, for example, one on the bottom of the deck and a joker on top of the deck, with 100% probability, Jay, your Jack of diamonds would be between the 2 jokers. I have to let the lameness and stupidity of that joke settle in before I proceed with the rest of the show. Of course, come on, I got the whole deck between the jokers. But, yeah, statistics and probability, I like to use them to my advantage. But then I like to do something like this. Nothing above, nothing below. And I also spread the deck. You see, they didn't totally disappear, they simply relocated. And they kept something in between. Where there was once an entire deck between the 2 jokers, now there is only 1 card. You said Jack of diamonds before. That would look like this, wouldn't it?
Ooh.
Oh!
There you go.
Oh, my goodness. All right. Okay, so let's see. We're going to go full circle. Let's see. Yassine, why don't you name another card?
Spades. 5.
5 of spades. Again, I love, for a guy who doesn't play cards. Wow, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay, well, you know what? I had these 2 advert cards here. Is there any one of these that you would like me to use? Any one of these 2, yes.
You want me to pick one of them?
Pick one of them, yes.
Pick one of them. I'll take the bicycle.
Oh, this one. Oh, look, with the Facebook, Tumblr, and YouTube. The social networking card. I'm kind of a social networking guy myself, okay? We can relate that way. It's funny that you picked this one. Actually, it would have been epic if he had said King of Spades. That would have been like this one. That would have been like epic, but okay, never mind. But that's okay, because I'm glad you chose this one. Because this is the one that becomes the card that you named before, 5 of spades. Okay? Yeah! Okay, and let's see, we're still going full circle here. Why don't you name any card you, wait a second, let me just see if all the cards are in here. Okay, good, okay. Name another card.
4 of hearts.
The 4 of hearts. I like the way you contemplated that one. Now, let's see, how was your intuition?
Great.
Great, really?
Yeah.
Well, intuition is a paradoxical phenomenon. You know without knowing. Now, take this card. Although that would have been cool if that were a 4 of hearts. 4 of hearts, you said?
Yes.
Okay, just stick that face up inside the deck anywhere you want. Go ahead, anywhere you want. Okay, now, why there? Of all the possible places, why there?
My intuition told me to put it.
Your intuition told you. Okay, look. Now, look, your intuition, well, that itself is pretty epic. 3 of hearts, that's 1 away. But let's just see how epic your intuition really is. Turn over that card that you stuck it next to. Look at that!
Oh.
I'm like, whoa! Whoa! Wow. I mean, you can see where this is going. One more for the road.
Sure. 3.
3 of... You got 4. 3 of spades, okay. Okay, you really grown that one out there, okay.
It's not as easy as it seems.
Now look, I can shuffle a deck till I'm blue in the face, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to shuffle it in a really bizarre way, okay? Let's see, we just go like this, okay? Do you see that we just shuffled face up into face down? You guys see that? Okay, see that? Yeah. Face up into face down. And that really unfortunately just messes up the deck, so you know what. So if I go like this, we can just spread the cards. Oh, wait a second, only 1 card is messed up now. And you said 3 of spades before. That's the card that I left imperfectly there.
Dang.
Oh!
Awesome.
Awesome. All right, you know what, Yassine? I think we got time for 1 more card. What? Name 1 more. Make it, challenge me. Go ahead.
Challenge, let's go with a 9 of, what are the 4 possibilities?
Clubs, hearts, diamonds, and spades.
Let's go with clubs. We haven't done clubs
Yassine, we just met. What did I ever do to you? I mean, really. I mean, we just 9 o'clock. Really?
Yes.
Oh my. Okay, fine. You forced my hand, Yassine. I'm like, okay, now I'm going to have to employ a level of complexity that brought the Curiosity Land Rover to Mars, or at the very least, inspired the movie Interstellar. Okay. Okay. As you can see here, if only you had said 9 of diamonds, that would have made my life so much better. You know that? Okay. Now, okay, you want the 9 of spades, right? Club. Oh, club. I would have been in trouble then. Okay. So after all that work, we have arrived at the 9 of clubs. What's wrong?
I'm sorry. Dude, you're wrong.
Well, I was doing really well until now. Okay, queen of diamonds. Okay, epic fail. There's no way I could queen of diamonds and then like to 9 of, there's no way I can like associate the two. At least when you had 3 of hearts to 4 of hearts, that I could salvage. Could you open your hand, Yassine, one more time? Let's see what we got. Oh, saved! Oh. Look at that! Epic save! Yeah. Woo! All right, you know what? Let's do something much more ambitious, okay? Because let's see if we can get a tight shot on this, okay? All right, let's see what we got here. Maybe I'll just go over here. All right, so we got this 9 of clubs. Yassine's 9 of clubs. Placed in the center of the deck, a snap of the fingers summons it to the top, okay? All right, and if I place that same card on the bottom of the deck, a snap of the fingers once again summons it to the top. It works just like a subpoena. I say it works just like a subpoena just for the sake of not only a cheap laugh, but to see if there are any lawyers in the audience. But that's just one of those things. Okay, here. All right. Oh, okay, right. Okay, now you see, I'm going to need your help for this, okay? Yes, you got some strong hands. Now, open your left hand. Yes. That's very good. And could you put your right hand on top of the deck, if you don't mind? Thank you so much, okay? Now, you know anything about geology? We're going to get to that in the meantime. Now, look, you see, the deck's between your hands. Look. Yes, sir. Now, if I take away the top card, would you happen to know what that top card would be? Yeah, you know what? The identity of it? Well, it wouldn't be the 9 of clubs if that's what you're wondering. Okay, all right? Okay, now I'm going to take away the bottom card of the deck. You happen to know the identity of the bottom card? No. Okay, well, it wouldn't have been the 9 of clubs anyway. Okay, I'm just proving a point that we got all these random possibilities here. Okay, now 9 of clubs. Okay, that was the card you named. Yep. Here we go. Let's see. Let's just go like this. Okay, here we go. We're employing psychokinesis here. All right. Okay. Something's going on. Do you feel something going on, like a slight sensation between your hands? Yeah. Okay. That's good. That's good. Here we go. It's going up. It's going up. It's going up. Okay. It's on top now. Do you feel it on top?
I think so.
Okay. Now look. Let me just keep the deck. Protect the rest of the deck. Protect it. Protect it. Okay. Let me just remove just the top card of the deck. Okay. Just the top card. All right. That's the top card. You felt it. Yep. And it is the 9 of clubs. Wow. Okay, protect the deck. That's important. That's your important role in this, okay? You have to protect the deck. Now look, remember I started with a crystal ball? I start with crystal, I end with crystal. Now look, check that out. Check that out. You see that? I know, right? And you've been protecting the deck all this time, Yassine. Now look, I'm just going to insert this into the rest of the deck, okay? The rest of the deck has been infected. Despite Yassine's sincere attempts at protecting the deck is now infected. Open your hand very carefully. Go ahead. Go ahead. Oh, careful, careful. And spread those out. Show it to the camera. Whoa. Look at that. Whoa. Spread them all out. Show it to the camera.
That is crazy.
Whoa.
That's nuts.
Oh my. That is like, whoa. Each and every card. Each and every card, you know?
Crystal. It's crystal.
That is just absolute insanity, right?
It is. It's great.
You know what? I'm glad I had your help for it, but what about Steve?
Yes, sir.
Could you open your hands? Okay, okay. Yeah. Just place. No, actually, just this hand here, and put your other hand on top of the deck. Okay. Apply pressure. Apply pressure. Okay, here we go. Apply pressure. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right. Okay. Geology. It's pressure versus time. Open your hand. Show that to the camera.
Wow. Oh my God.
Whoa! Whoa! Guys, what do you think of that?
That's fantastic.
You like that? Are we good? Okay.
I think we're good. That's it.
I'm glad you like that. Thanks so much. Okay. Thank you. Woo!